Hello everyone and welcome back to another winning video. So this video is a little different from some of my recent ones. This video is rather personal. This is the winner wrapped for 2023, and what I mean by that is this is going to be a recap of, you know, Whin in her natural habitat. So for today's presentation, we'll just be going over, you know, what stayed the same this year, what was new. I'll go over some highlights. We'll cover it all. Yeah. If you'd like to join in the future for something live like this, feel free to come over at twitch.tv/whinnaay as always, where I'm live streaming now, and you can join this lovely chat on the right hand side. Otherwise, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. This is my first time doing something like this, and yeah, it took me way too long to make these slides. I've been making these slides for the last 3 weeks. I have been trying to do this wrap since like mid-December because, you know, for Spotify and stuff, it came out at the beginning of the month, but you know, it is what it is. We are learning. So these are, I decided to include these two pictures for my first slide because on the left is my very first selfie of 2023. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I am pretty tired. I'm just like done with everything. I don't even know why I chose to take selfies on this day. I guess like I had to go somewhere, so I had my makeup on and stuff, and I was like, whatever, I feel like pretty cute, so I'll just take some photos. But looking back, I was like, oh man, I feel like I was going through it. like this is when my hair was like so long. I really needed a haircut. I remember when I finally got my haircut in the summer, the person who cut my hair, she was like, yeah, your ends are so dead. And like I didn't know how to wear concealer back then, chat, so you can see my dark circles. I was probably like very sleep deprived. And the photo on the right is one of my most recent selfies. So it's the same mirror in the same room. I'm a little more dressed up because, you know, for Christmas and the holidays, but yeah, I think I do look more relaxed, at least in the most recent photo. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I think I've even glowed up. Like, you know, that sweater's from Aritzia. It's a really nice sweater. And I'm festive with the headband, have more makeup on, but yeah, I think I just look better. I don't know. Maybe that's just me though. Let me know your thoughts, chat. Okay, so first of all, let's start with what is the same. So, oh wait, here, let me move my webcam. Actually, I don't really know where's a good place to put these things. Okay, so what's the same? First of all, we're still playing Genshin Impact in this day and age. Maybe not as consistently as before. There have definitely been some times where I haven't done my dailies. Last patch I didn't even max out my battle pass, which was the first time in a long time that I haven't done that. Yes, Rika, you're right. I forgot to mention that in the previous slide. Yeah, I started the year with bangs, and then I went through a long phase in the middle of the year where I was trying out a no bangs look, and now we have bangs again. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, yeah. So speaking of what else is the same, so in terms of games, still playing Genshin, still playing Valorant, like very sporadically, but it's happening, you know, it's there. And I'm still playing Osu from time to time. Osu is like my main off-stream game, but I will be trying to play it on stream again now that, you know, I have the Uwu keypad that someone bought for me on Throne. Thank you again, anonymous gifter. Road to Radiant? I don't know about that, Jupiter. I don't know about that. Well, speaking of what's new, so, you know, your girl did start playing another gacha game because, for those of you who remember, Honkai Star Rail did come out earlier this year in like the end of April/May. So I've been playing Star Rail since then pretty regularly. still some days where you know, I'm not haven't done my dailies and stuff, but it's kind of consistent, I would say. How much have I spent? That's a good question. I would say I'm trying to remember. So this year for Genshin, I have not yet bought the biggest top up, I'm pretty sure. I think I bought like the $30 one or the $50 one, and someone on stream gifted it to me. Thank you, Asawaki, for doing that. But I think since the reset, I haven't bought any packs in Genshin. And then for Star Rail, I think someone did buy me the biggest pack. Thank you, Luis. I think Luis bought me the $100 pack and the $50 pack. So, and then I bought like one battle pass in Star Rail and like a few express passes, but I don't even have like an express pass right now. I stopped getting express passes and welcons. So I would say like it's like a moderate amount spent. Like I would say less than $300 USD. Yeah. But I'm not free to play it in Star Rail. No. Yeah, I did spend for Jingli. Yeah, so we're playing Star Rail now. Still trying to keep the spendings low. And then in Valorant, I finally started playing ranked. I'm Iron 3, so trying to get to bronze, but I don't think it's happening before the end of this year, which is fine. It is what it is. Tears of the Kingdom. Yes, I started playing Tears of the Kingdom this year when it came out in June. Very highly anticipated series. I did play it on stream, right? I think I played it for like a month. And then after that, I kind of stopped streaming for a while. So then I just played it off stream. And I'm still not done Tears of the Kingdom. I do want to play it again, but I just haven't had time. So I do really enjoy it though. But yeah, I decided to add it because yeah, it is one of the games I've streamed a lot this year. And then yeah, I also started playing Team Fight Tactics. Hi Lily, hello, welcome Raiders. I'll give everyone a second to get settled in. But yes, for Team Fight Tactics, I just included because I did play it for like a month. I do want to continue playing it, I just haven't had time, and it's really cool because I actually started playing TFT because I got accepted into Boxbox's TFT Bootcamp, which is open only to streamers and like content creators. And it's interesting because the bootcamp is geared towards people that don't necessarily play TFT. So like in my form, in my application, I actually wrote that I've never played TFT before. Like I only played like one game and that was like 3 years ago and I have no idea what's happening. But the reason they do that is because they want to expand the audience of TFT. So, but yeah, I do want to get better at TFT. I think maybe that'll be one of my resolutions for 2024 is to be able to learn TFT well enough so I can play double up with other people and not feel like a burden. That's one of my goals for 2024, but more on that later. Hi, G-Child. Hi, how are you? Okay, next up. So, what's the same? Your girl is still streaming on Twitch, as you can all see. I think this is actually a screen cap from like a few months ago. It was after Fontaine came out because, you know, my title clearly says Farming for Fudina, and then we're doing Abyss and Misty Dungeon. And I think in this stream I was actually doing like, what's it called? Account reviews again? I know it's been a while since we've done them, but yeah, your girl's still streaming on Twitch. Still not partner Sag, but it's okay, it is what it is. Yeah, still kinda doing like long streams, whether intentional, like, you know, the charity streams or my birthday subathon. I think that was the longest stream that I've done this year, chat. I think my birthday subathon was, let's say, like 40 hours. And then the only stream, because I was looking at my Twitch tracker for this year, and I think the only stream that came close after that was the Pride charity stream in June. I think that was a little over that. I think that was like 14 hours, maybe 16 hours, something like that. But yeah, we are still streaming kind of regularly. In terms of what's changed, So Twitch was not the only focal point for me this year. This year was actually the first full year that I've dedicated to my other platforms, because it was in October of last year when I first started making YouTube content, when I first started trying out shorts and reels, and like made my TikTok account. So 2023 was the first full year where I've been able to focus on that. So we were able to make YouTube partner, the thumbnails. These are some of my like best performing, I guess you could say, like shorts. This is the one about the cave bug in co-op. So that was pretty cool. I think this is still my most viewed TikTok to date. And then this is my one on Instagram that went really viral and got over 1.5 million views, which is wild to think about. So yeah. And then of course, like with YouTube partner, I feel like YouTube partner is more of a focus on like long form content, which I've also been focusing on. And trying to do long form and short form is really tiring, chat. I'm gonna be honest, because people think, oh, you know, if you do long form, then you can just repurpose what you've done and like take the most important parts or the most engaging parts and put it into like, you know, a 1 minute thing or whatever. But no, it's not that easy, because the format for shorts is very different, right? It's a totally different audience and works totally differently. So yeah, it's been challenging trying to balance both. And I waffled between the two. Like sometimes I'll focus on like shorts, and sometimes I'll like focus on long form, and sometimes I'll focus on neither and just focus on streaming. So trying to find a balance between all three has been challenging, but it's been a good challenge. Content creation ain't easy. I admire you for all that you do. Oh, thank you, G-Child. Yeah, it is really, really tough. I don't think I'd be able to handle it all if I was not like dedicating myself to it full time. So, and I have like, I guess like you could say like worked with a few editors, but I feel like it always like kind of comes back to like just me. It just feels easier for me to do it, even though I take so long. Like sometimes it takes me like a full day to just edit one short, chat. One short that's less than a minute long. But it's because there's so many layers. Sometimes it's hard. You have to like format the short in a certain way. Like I'll like cut different parts from the same video and I'll like overlay them over each other, so it looks like, you know, I'm talking when part A is happening, and like, you know, you're constructing the narrative, your own narrative, and just making it fit together better so it fits together in that 1 minute. So yeah, it's so tough. I don't know, maybe I can do like a video editing workshop or something one time. But creating a good short is like trying to get the right amount of measurements for a recipe. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, there is a science to it with like the captions and transitions that you use, but everyone has their own style, right? Happy New Year, Mufasa! Happy New Year! Also, hi, is it Emuani Toku? I hope I said that correctly. Hi! I'm good, how are you? Getting people engaged in 20 seconds is different than people being interested over 10 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to like have a hook and stuff. And then sounds are really important too, like super important for shorts, I think, so. Also, all coffee, Twitch partner next year. Thank you. We'll see. I will talk about that later. But yeah, but aside from that, you know, it's been a really good journey in content creation. I think I'm really happy with what I've managed to achieve this year. I mean, aside from that, going back to streaming, you know, I didn't get Twitch partner, but I did make it into the Stream Elements Creator Diversity Program, which I had wanted to get into since they first launched it in 2021. I think there were like at least 1,000 applications and they only chose 16 people. So to be one of those like 16 chosen was such an honor. And it has definitely opened up like a lot of doors to resources and opportunities that aren't normally available. So yeah, I would say that was one of the highlights of my year. And then of course, can't forget about getting to cast at the official Genshin booth at Twitchcon. yeah, I don't know how I'll be able to top this all next year. It's gonna be really hard for next year to be better, chat, but I'll have to see. We'll see how we can do better in 2024. So, oh, we always support you in your accomplishments because you've done a lot of cool things, even if you don't have Twitch partner. Thank you, Rishi. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and of course, like, these opportunities would not be possible without you all. Like, yeah, those in chat, those watching on YouTube, everyone who's watched my reels or my shorts or my TikToks, like, yeah, thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. This would not be possible without you all, so. Oh, G-Child, you were so excited to be there live at TwitchCon and seeing me cast. Thank you. It was very surreal, yeah. But yeah, okay. Yeah, oh yeah, and here's the tweet that I made, chat. Like, basically summarizing everything that happened. Yeah, YouTube partner, the 1 million view IG reel, the Cave co-op bug. I remember, like, people would message me that don't even follow me on TikTok, that I don't really talk to, and they would say, yo, you showed up on my FYP, which is wild to hear. And then, yeah, I also hit my first 10,000 view long form video, which was Blade's teaser. Like, I don't think that I'm that entertaining of a reactor, chat, but you know, I guess people like my reacts, so that's really cool. Oh, and most importantly, I didn't give up, chat. I felt that it was very important to mention that because I think over the course of this year and last year, you know, I've seen a lot of streamers come and go, a lot of like content creators who were very active, they've become less active, and you know, that's totally fine. People's priorities change, they shift, they're maybe not into Genshin as much, or they're busy with other things in their life. They can't really dedicate as much time and energy to content creation because, you know, it does take a lot of time and energy, but it's still a little sad. So yeah, I think I'm proud of myself for still being here. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so what's the same? So your girl is still streaming, you know, still living at home, still in the same bedroom, still with all the plushies, still with the same stream overlay actually, which is wild that I haven't changed it at all. But your girl has changed her setup. So I know it's not as obvious, but you know, gone are the baskets, gone are the clothes, gone is the clutter. I got a bigger and better desk. I did rotate my desk, yes, but I think this angle is like way better. You can see this is my current angle. This is actually taken from like a stream a few weeks ago. You can see I got better, not better plushies, but more plushies. We have the Peepo and the Char plush. And the bangs are back. Yes, this was my no bangs period. And I do look less tired here, I think. Well, I think I'm just looking down as well, but you know, this here I finally learned how to use concealer and foundation, chat. But yeah, and I know you can't really see like the left side of the room in the new thumbnail, but I got rid of that box, I got rid of all that clutter. I have a proper shelf now. And yeah, being in my room just feels nicer. I think like before, I used to say that, you know, when I stream, I'm like really fixated on streaming, like hyper fixated. It was to the point where I would not, like, if I get like, you know, a phone call or whatever, or like, you know, Char's coming and meowing at me and stuff, I like won't really pay attention because I'm so focused on what's happening on stream. And I think part of it is like a trauma response to living in such a cluttered house, because if I'm focused on what's on my screen and just what's in front of me, then I could ignore all the clutter and all the mess and yeah, everything else around me. But now I don't really have to do that anymore, so yeah. And then, oh yeah, and this is my old desk, chat. This is my old desk. You can see my peripherals are still the same, and like my water bottle is still the same. I'm still using the same mic, same monitors, same Razer mouse, but that desk was so freaking small, and like I can't believe I stayed using that desk for so long. I like my current desk like way better. I picked it out at IKEA myself. Now there's space for my tower, and yeah, I can just have more things on it. I have my ring light there too. Yeah, it's just it really does make a difference. So decluttering is a big step. Be proud. Yeah, I know. And I think it's taken like 3 years for me to work up to this stage. Like, it's a lot. It's taken a lot. Is the tower on another desk or floor now with the third monitor? Well, so I don't have my third monitor yet, Ray. But yeah, I think my third monitor would probably go on top of my monitor on the left. Because I would like to keep my tower still on the desk, and I don't think I have another table that can support the tower, so. Marie Kondo would be proud. I hope so. I'm proud of myself. Yeah, I'm proud of myself, so. Yeah. Is that a Razer mouse? Yes, it is. It is the... I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's the Death Adder one. It might be. Wait, actually, I think I have the Razer software installed. Oh, it is the Death Adder. It's the V2. The V2 Death Adder, so. But yeah, I really wanted the Genshin Razer mouse, chat, but this was on sale and the Genshin one was not. And I was like, I cannot justify, spending like an extra $150 for a Genshin themed mouse. The setup looks clean. It makes me happy. Thank you. It makes me happy too. Yeah, it really does make a difference for sure. And like, you can't really see in the picture, but now I even have space for like some standees. I have some merch like on my desk or like my tower. I have like some like prints pasted up too. So yeah, the Paimon mouse is so expensive. Yeah. Okay, so speaking of mental health, I'm still, constantly late, especially for stream. I cannot think of a single time. Okay, maybe one time where I've come to stream on time. Like this for this entire year. I think it's just like unintentionally become a part of my brand, for better or for worse. Yeah. So that's what's been happening, and I think like chronic lateness is something that I struggled with like for a lot of my life. It's not just with streaming, it's basically with like everything, like appointments, meeting friends, everything. And then sleep schedule has also been a problem. This is a screen cap from my phone in my Apple Health, and yes, it does say that on average in the end of November, my average sleep start time, the average time I went to bed was at 9 a.m. Yes, that's 9 in the morning. Speaking of good mornings, like and I woke up at like 3 p.m. And I think that's been like a constant for the whole year. I feel like this entire year has just been very wild. Like I've literally lived every type of schedule, chat, because if y'all remember, there was a point in time for a few months where I would actually have morning streams, right? I would start my stream at 10 a.m. and for a while that would work. And I think I actually did come to those streams like on time, so, like sometimes, like maybe I would start at like 10:15 or whatever, but still relatively on time. But then after a few months, it would keep getting pushed back. So then I started having afternoon streams, and I would start at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then that would be like okay for a few weeks, and then I would become late for those streams. And then I would push it back to like 4 p.m. And then by that point, I was like, you know what? I might as well just go back to my old sleep schedule or like my old stream schedule. So then I started having stream at like 8 p.m., which is like when I first started streaming, like in 2021. And then I would become late for those streams. And then I'd be like, you know what? I might as well just start streaming at like 10 or 11 p.m. It works out better anyways, because with the drip marketing, and then, you know, like having to react to the demos and the trailers or the teasers for Star Rail and Genshin, those usually come out around midnight my time or 11 p.m. my time. So it just made sense to move stream to that time. So we've come full circle. Like every sleep schedule, I've done it all, chat. Can anyone in chat confirm this? Yes, yeah, plenty of people in chat can confirm. And I'm pretty sure I have a lot of tweets where I've said stuff like, good morning, I just slept for 14 hours, and I'll post it at like 11 p.m. It's I'm not saying it's good, but that's just how I've been this year. But but I think I figured out the true cause of my issues. It's ADHD. Like actually ADHD. I've said that, you know, I've had like ADHD for like a while now, for like several months. I think it was last year where I first realized that, oh, you know, like maybe this stuff is like not normal. But it was only this year that I got like a diagnosis and actually went for like an official assessment. Yeah, the first time was earlier this year. I spoke to someone on the phone, and it was someone referred by like a doctor that I saw at a walk-in clinic. And that guy, I think he just didn't understand. Like, because at the end he was like, oh, you know, you seem like a very bright and smart young lady, but it seems like your issues just stem from, you know, not having a consistent schedule and not getting enough sleep. And surprise, the lack of sleep is from ADHD. Because I went for another assessment, and I actually went like 2 weeks ago. I finally mustered up like the, you know, willpower to go. I was so scared. I think like it took me a long time to book the appointment, chat, because well, first of all, it's like a little hard because I'm not working full-time right now, right? So I don't have any insurance coverage, and the assessment is like, even though the program that I'm doing it through is like cheaper than typical avenues in healthcare, it's still like several $100s. So that was like the first barrier to entry. And then also like having to book an appointment, because again, inconsistent sleep schedules, I was like, shit, if I book an appointment, I don't even know if I'll be awake at that time. Like, even if I book it for like 3 in the afternoon, I don't know if I'll be awake at that time or if I'll be asleep. So but yeah, I finally just sucked it up and I did it, and I went for the appointment, and the nurse that you know, assessed me, or the professional that assessed me, she was like, yeah, you know, you meet the, what's it called? You meet 6 out of the 9 symptoms or signs that we use to diagnose inattentive ADHD. And I was like, wow, this, you know, like, I thought I would feel like relieved maybe, but I just felt like normal. I was like, okay, yeah, like, you know, the sky is blue. It's like I already knew, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, it still felt very validating. But I think the biggest change is getting access to medication. Because when I did my first assessment, I was not interested in medication, but I think I reached a point also, and I think this is also why I went ahead and booked the assessment, because I think I reached a point where I was like, okay, like, you know, during the day I'm not like getting any work done. I have all these videos that I want to edit. I have all these ideas that I want to implement for content and for stream. I have all these shorts that I want to record, and I just don't have, like, I just can't do it. And I'm getting tired of you know, not living up to my potential, I guess. And I'm tired of, you know, not being able to live on a schedule, tired of being chronically late, tired of what's it called? Yeah. And I guess I told myself like, oh, you know, like at least if I try the medication, like what's the worst that could happen, you know? Like maybe then I can finally like, yeah, do all the things I want to do, and I can manage my time better. And you know, because it was also like to the point where my mind was wandering so badly, chat. Like I remember I'd be cleaning my room. I wouldn't even be doing stuff on the computer. I'd be cleaning my room, and every other minute I would literally like go to my PC to like check Discord or check Twitter or whatever. Like it's just such a waste of time, such a waste of energy too. And then yeah, since going on medication, I've been actually able to focus. Like today was a great day, chat. Like okay I don't want to say that I was suffering or that I was like dying, like, or having a meltdown, but it was more like, oh my gosh, I like have so much work to do. I have a lot of like forms to fill out, and like there's a lot of like things I need done before I can go for my trip next week to Chicago to see the Genshin concert. But I was able to like sit down and get it all done because of the medication. And then I was able to like prepare the slides for the stream, and now I'm here like streaming and I don't feel like tired or anything. So yeah, it's wild. It's only, and you know, maybe it's too early to say anything because it has only been like 10 days, and there are days that I've skipped the medication because sometimes I'll just, you know, still fixing my sleep schedule, so sometimes I'll wake up like too late in the day and I'll think, oh, like, you know, probably shouldn't have the medication now because it's too late, or there are days that I'll skip it because like it's like not a focus day for me, because like I'll just be going out or like, you know, hanging out with friends or whatever, so I won't take it then. I'll just drink coffee. But otherwise, yeah, I would say they're super effective. They're doing their job, which is really nice. Excuse me. Sometimes like I feel like a tightness in my chest. I remember like on the second or third day, it felt like I had heartburn, but my heart wasn't hurting. So I don't really know. But aside from that, it's not like anything bad. So I will continue to evaluate. But yeah. And like, I remember thinking like, wow, I feel like not great, but I guess like I'm like, wow, I feel super happy. Like, I feel like I have things to look forward to in life now. And it feels like my mental health has actually like really improved. I don't know. Maybe it's like placebo effect or something. And again, I think it's too early to like say like, you know, it's only been 10 days, but yeah, it's been good so far. Highly recommend to anyone else who suspects they have ADHD, like, please go get tested because it's actually been life-changing. So yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's not that it's like fully curable because it's not a disease. It's just like how your brain is, right? Because when you have ADHD, it just means that your body can't naturally produce enough dopamine, and dopamine is the chemical that I guess makes you feel happy. Like, take this with a grain of salt because I'm not a science major or anything, but yeah, now that my body doesn't have to worry about that, like, it's nice because now I have the bandwidth to focus on things that actually matter. And I also heard, the nurse also was telling me that there's another chemical that your body doesn't produce enough of, and it's like a chemical that tells you, oh, like, hey, you know, this is urgent. You have to do this, or you have to start getting ready for this. Like, wake the fuck up. I don't remember what that chemical is called, but apparently, for people who have ADHD, they don't produce enough of that chemical either. So that's why, you know, for people that have ADHD, procrastination is a big problem. Like not starting things on time, like being chronically late. It's because your body's not producing enough of that chemical either. So, yeah. Oh, Hina, you have work in the morning. Good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thank you. AJ, you used to have ADHD as a kid. You took medicine for it but stopped because you no longer have it. That's so interesting because that's the thing with ADHD. It's like it doesn't go away, apparently. So, I don't know. Ashy, this is your sign to get tested. I don't think it can hurt. Like maybe it'll hurt financially, but I think there are, at least here, there's like a free self-assessment that you can start to take, and then if you, based off of the self-assessment, if they think that, you know, they like, you know, what's it called? You might have ADHD, or you can get help from this care program, then you can set up like an assessment with them, and that's only when you pay and stuff. So your quality of sleep seems to improve. Well, I mean, apparently like delayed circadian rhythm is also common in people that have ADHD, because for me, chat, I always do feel like I can't sleep at the same time every night. It feels like I don't get tired. Like let's say normal people, they can wake up at like, I don't know, like 7 a.m. and then they'll feel tired naturally by like 10 or 11 p.m., right? But for me, if I wake up at 7 a.m., I don't start to feel tired until like 2 a.m. But then I need like 8 hours of sleep. So then I'll wake up like 3 hours later, and then I'll go to sleep like 3 hours later. And then that just pushes everything back, and yeah. So hopefully meds also help with that. Wait, with this recap, I should host a Whin Awards. What are the categories? What are the categories, chat? Oh, thank you, G-Child. Thank you for the sub for 3 months and the kind words. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for your support of McDonald's. No. Yeah, that's why I'm like very optimistic about next year. Hopefully the meds will help. And I have heard that some people say, and I think one of the reasons I was scared to get put on meds is because for some people, they report that at the beginning the meds are like really effective, right? But then the more that they take the meds, the less effective they become, or the more tolerant they become. So then they have to like increase their dosage, and then like after a certain point, the meds just aren't effective at all, and then they can't focus again. But then it sucks because it's like you had a taste of you know, the good life, and now you can't get it back. So it sucks, you know? It's like that story, Flowers for Algernon, or whatever it's called. So I think I'm afraid of that too, but we'll see. I think that as humans, we can't let fear stop us. So yeah. Hi, Whin. Sometimes you have to skip a full day of sleep so you can force yourself to be tired and sleep at an earlier time. That is literally me. That was actually me last year, where I would, that was actually me last year, but it would not work because I cannot do all-nighters. I think my max time that I can stay up for is like 21 to 24 hours, and after that I just crash. It was so bad. That does not work. I do not recommend that. Oh, good night, AJ. You don't recall how your ADHD was as a kid, but you know the stories of your mom and dad and them dealing with it. But you know about the medicine because of the pill they put in the weekly plastic box thingy. Oh, Well, I do know, like, I did know someone else who, like, reported something similar where he said that he was diagnosed with ADHD when he was a kid, but he didn't feel like he had ADHD now. And there are different types of ADHD too, right? There's, like, hyperactive ADHD, which is really easy to catch because that's the type of ADHD where, you know, you're usually, like, yeah, like, super hyper, you can't sit still. It's usually found in kids that, you know, like, quote unquote misbehave or act out in school because, you know, they can't sit still, they have all this energy. But I think inattentive ADHD is harder to detect because that's the type of ADHD where you're not acting out, you don't necessarily have, like, more energy, but it's more the type where your mind wanders a lot. So it's like the one where, like, you know, you daydream a lot in class, but, you know, that's not as obvious to detect, right? So, also, Mifu, thank you for gifting a sub to Whin! My name twin, thank you both for your support of McDonald's. No. You think your ADHD was more hyper and then it stopped because you wasted the extra energy outside the house more with friends? Yeah, that makes sense too. But yeah. And I think, like, for me, well, first of all, I also think that ADHD is harder to detect in women because, you know, society has, like, different expectations for behavior in boys and girls and men and women. And usually I think in women, like, people just think, oh, you know, she's just, like, loopy, or she just daydreams a lot, and that's, like, normal, right? But it's not, it's ADHD. Yeah, so I think, like, that's part of the reason. And then also, just in general, women are not taken as seriously when it comes to healthcare. So yeah, but, you know, it is what it is. I got my diagnosis, so yeah, I'm happy to start with that. Yeah, although I did have to advocate for myself, because I think also when I did that first assessment, maybe I gave, like, too many outs or made too many excuses for myself, and that's why the person I spoke with, the professional, also did not take me seriously. So yeah, you gotta learn how to be firm and how to advocate for yourself, and that goes for everyone, because healthcare workers, you know, even though they're professionals, they only know so much, right? I feel like you still know your body and your health the best. So you feel like your coworkers should all get tested because none of them stay focused on work. Honestly, like, maybe. And, like, that's the thing too. I remember when I was talking with my younger cousins, and telling them I think I might have ADHD. They were like, okay, and ? Because, well, to them, they were saying that it feels like everyone in today's day and age has, like, a little bit of ADHD inside of them. And I think, like, we don't really know what the cause of ADHD is, but I think in the studies that they've done, they have found a correlation between, like, you know, increased usage of tech, and, like, increased usage of social media and stuff. So yeah, I would not be surprised if all your coworkers have something similar to some degree. Yeah, and that's because that's just our world nowadays, you know? It's not anyone's fault, so. Anyways, okay, so what else is the same? Going back to the winter recap, what else is the same? You know, I'm still a homebody. I still love hanging out at home in, like, sweatpants and everything. I still have Char. Still love hanging out with him, and especially when he's cuddly on those rare times. But what was also new this year is I did touch some grass. I went on a few trips this year. It was actually my first time traveling alone on a plane. I've never done that before. And some of the destinations I went to were New York for the Mamamoo concert, which I went to in May. And then I went to Vegas for Twitchcon, as you all know. Yeah, this is all my shit at the airport that I had to lug around on my own because, again, traveling, flying on my own, it was an experience. Yeah, but I had people to accompany me, so it wasn't that bad. And then I went to Boston for the Genshin concert. So that was really, really fun. Yeah, very, very grateful that I got to go on all these trips and do a bit of travel. Oh, good night, dog. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. I appreciate it. Yeah, I haven't done a full solo trip on my own. I don't know if I will, because I think it has its pros and cons, and it can be super fun. But I think I do prefer traveling with others, so. But yeah, I think like at least getting to fly on my own was an experience I'm glad I got to have. Yeah. And then, yeah, so that's basically the whole recap. Overall thoughts. So I think the verdict for 2023, and I took the screen cap from Discord because I don't think I actually made any New Year's resolutions last year because, you know, issues with setting goals and making plans and sticking to plans and everything. But I wrote this last year, I think like a year ago to this day. I set up my personal resolution is to work even harder to create better content and improve streams and finally clean my room. But my hope overall is that we can all continue to grow together and share many good memories with each other. And I think that, you know, it's kind of a vague it's kind of a vague resolution, but I think that we were able to make it. My room is a lot cleaner, and I think that, you know, the stream, well, I don't know if the stream improved. I think the stream stayed around the same, for better or for worse, but I think we did make better content. I think I've gotten a lot better with the reacts. I've gotten better with making shorts off stream, making content, coming up with content that's not focused or like reliant just on stream highlights. So yeah, I'm really happy for that. So with that out of the way, goals for 2024. I tried to make these more measurable and like realistic, but I definitely do want to be more on time and more consistent with my stream schedule. Maybe if I could be on time at least once a week to start. You know, I think that'd be great. That'd be great. I do want to host more collaboration streams because I did a lot of collaborations when I first started streaming in 2021 and in 2022, for those of you who remember, you know, Bosses and Banter, and what else did we do? I think I did a lot of special, you know, we did like the Winvitational, and I had a lot of guests on when I did like subathons, or not even subathons, like charity streams and special events. But I kind of stopped that this year. I didn't do them as often. I mean, we did the PvP triathlon, which is a really cool idea, but it was just like a lot of work to set up, and I think I didn't have as big of a guest list. Kind of exhausted my network. That's why I kind of stopped, but they were really, really fun. And speaking of collaborations, hi Zuck! Yo, you're streaming again! Oh my gosh! Yo, it's nice to see you! The zucchini, what did we step into? Oh my gosh, the feet references. How have you been, fams? Happy holidays! Chat, make sure you follow Zuckshin. He says he doesn't stream anymore, but that's clearly a lie. But he is the Genshin player, the Genshin content creator that plays Genshin with his feet. I'm not even joking or lying. He has like a big ass controller, and he has a hand cam, but it's focused on his feet, and you can see him playing, like controlling his characters with his toes and everything. It's wild. He stopped that. Okay, well, I remember seeing it with my, you know, it happened. It happened. And the fact that he was able to do that at even one point in time is very talented. And he's super, super funny. So make sure you follow him as well. Bro grew out of his feet phase. It's never just a phase. It's a lifestyle. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. To all the raiders who don't know me, it's nice to meet you. My name is Whinnaay or whinnaay. People also know me as Whin. Like Zuck, I primarily stream Genshin and Star Rail, but I will be playing Genshin in a bit. But right now I'm doing my winter wrapped for 2023. So I was just going over and recapping my whole year, going over some highlights. And yeah, thanks again for the raid, and thanks Woots for the follow. He evolved. Does that mean he plays Genshin with like another body part now instead? I'm kind of scared to know which one. Anyways, yeah, if you need to go, Zuck, I'm sure you had a long stream, so don't feel obligated to stay. But yeah, thanks for the raid. Thanks for bringing your friends over. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we're almost done with the recap. So for those of you who want to stay, I will be streaming some Genshin in a bit, but yeah, I do want to host more collaborations, and maybe this year I'll like work towards like maybe I'll do another partner push. I did one earlier this year and I think it did okay, but I don't think I met the requirements still, Sag, so we'll see. Maybe I'll actually try to stream like every day for like a month or something. But just thinking about it makes me exhausted, so TBD, but I do want to host more collaboration streams. And still, like I said, going back to the first point, more consistent with stream schedule. Whether that's like streaming once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week. Like, yeah, just sticking to what I say or what I plan. Because I do want to, going to the third point, I do want to post more off-stream content. I think I've also been very inconsistent with posting on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. When I first started, I think my goal was like 1 long form video a week and like 3 shorts a week, which is you know, I don't know how the kids on TikTok do it. Some people, some creators on TikTok, they post like 3 times a day, and I'm like, how? I can't even post 3 times a week. So I think I'm gonna like scale it back and do at least one kind of post at least once a week, whether it's a short or whether it's like a long form video. Like, I think something once a week is like a good start. You want to know what kind of off-stream content? Well, that's the thing, Megs. Like, I'm not 100% sure either. Because, and I think that like ties into my 4th point about figuring out my content niche. Because yes, I could keep doing reacts, but I feel like reacts are very hit or miss. Like, some of my reacts do really well, and then some of them I feel like are a flop. And I feel like it's not necessarily because of me, but it's more dependent on how hype the featured content is. So like, for example, I think that my react to Furina's, you know, like the Fontaine Archon quest did really well, but that's because it was the Fontaine Archon quest where, you know, there's like, I won't say any spoilers in case anyone hasn't done it yet still, but you know, there was a lot going on throughout Fontaine during that time. So I can see why a lot of people would be interested in seeing other people's reactions to those events and stuff, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think I want to, whether it's like skits, maybe more stuff like the Genshin math thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll even try making guides. No, I think I'm not enough of a theory crafter for that. I'm not smart enough to make guides. But yeah, so I'm still figuring it out. If anyone has any ideas, I'd love to hear it. I'm open to it. Who knows? Maybe I'll do like even more parody covers, but I feel like those are also like very hit or miss, and also very easy to get copyrighted. So, but yeah, I think I'll still focus on Genshin and Star Rail for now. Who knows? Maybe I'll expand into other Hoyoverse games. I know Zenless Zone Zero is about to come out. It's just around the corner, but I also don't know if I can handle playing a 3rd game regularly, so we'll really have to see. And that's also why like these goals are kind of open-ended, because I feel like the future is so unpredictable. I'm sure these goals might look very different, like even 3 months or 6 months from now. But yeah, this is it for now. Yeah, thank you everyone for another amazing year. You know, like I always say, there would be no streams and no content without you all. So thank you again for letting this channel be my safe space. And thank you all for giving me an audience. I really feel like growing up, before I started streaming, I guess I always felt like, you know, who'd want to listen to this random ass Asian girl who lives in Canada and doesn't really have anything special about her. But you all make me feel otherwise. Like I actually have some influence in that I can be a good example to others. So yeah, thank you all. Yes, Char was not amused in this photo. He had enough, but I thought this would be a very fitting last slide since he didn't get featured as much, and he is a part of the stream as well. He didn't look like he wanted to be here. No, I don't think he did, but you know, sometimes he doesn't have a choice either, you know. Sometimes we all have to do things that we don't want to do. Yeah, thank you everyone for being here this year. Yeah. Aw, Stoic! You had something special and that's why people stuck around. You have traced that rally people around such a positive and cool community that I got to know. And like, you know, that's honestly all I can ask for. Like, even like forgetting about, well, because I personally just feel like, you know, I always want to grow and get better. But Twitch partner aside, I mean, it's just a check mark, right? Like, YouTube partner aside, you know, they're just numbers, right? But I've always felt that when I started streaming, I knew that I didn't want to become someone who fixated on like metrics and analytics, and because it's not just, yeah, they're not just numbers, they're you all. There are actual people behind the number of viewers that come to stream and watch the videos and are in chat. And yeah, I really appreciate each and every single one of you that are here, because yeah, you could be doing literally anything else, but you're here hanging out with me. So thank you everyone, like truly from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you all have the biggest and brightest 2024. Yeah, and hopefully we can make more memories together. Yeah. People by 2023. You had your ups and downs, but we're looking forward to 2024 now. Yeah, thanks everyone, and thanks to those watching on YouTube as well. Remember, you can always join us at twitch.tv/whinnaay. But otherwise, if you enjoyed watching through this recap, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, hope you all have a great start to 2024 as well. Take care, stay safe, and stay winning. Bye YouTube.